Welcome back, students. So now we are going to see some of the points which are to be remembered when you are solving the problems with respect to centroid. Now, the first point which is to be remembered is the centroid always lies on the symmetrical axis. Now, first we need to understand what is symmetrical axis. Symmetrical axis. I'll give you a best example of identifying a symmetrical axis, that is your book itself. Your book itself. Now, whenever you open the book, that central part of the book, is nothing but it is symmetrical axis. Symmetrical axis means it is that axis along which when you fold any of the object, the corners of the objects should coincide with each other. So whenever you close your book with reference to that central axis, what happens? The corner of that book coincides along both the sides. So that is what is called as symmetrical axis. So one should understand that always the centroid lies on the symmetrical axis. Now, the next point is identify the symmetrical axis, if any. If any means any geometric figure. Now actually we will solve problems wherein the diagrams are composition of different geometrical figures. In the sense, the diagram which we may get may be combination of, say, rectangle, triangle and semicircle, or rectangle, triangle and circle, or only it may be the combination of different rectangles and so on. So we need to identify if it has any symmetrical axis. So if it has, then we are supposed to treat them as the reference axis, and if no symmetrical axis is available, then you are supposed to choose the reference x-axis and y-axis and the origin so that entire figure lies in the first quadrant. Okay, and we can solve for the centroid. So next is, you are supposed to subdivide the given figure into known geometrical shapes. In the sense, as I told you, if the given section is the combination of different geometrical figures, you are supposed to first distribute them, or you need to separate them into common geometrical figures, and then identify individual centroids. Once you divide them and identify individual centroids from reference x-axis and y-axis, then you're going to enter the same in this table. Where you have first column as component, that is which common geometric figure it is. In the second column, you have centroidal distance from reference x-axis, reference y-axis, which is x bar. So x bar is measured from reference y-axis. Next column is y bar, which is measured from reference x-axis. Individual area. Next you have area into, so this column is nothing but it is area into x bar, whereas this column is area into y bar. So these two columns are in this manner. So a into x and a into y. Now finally, when you complete this table, you will be able to calculate the final x bar and y bar. How? They are calculated by using this formula. X bar is sigma ax divided by sigma a will give you x bar. Next, y bar is nothing but it is sigma ay divided by sigma a. Now, where you have sigma ax is a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3, means area of first geometric figure, x bar of first geometric figure, area of second geometric figure, x bar of second geometric figure. Area of third geometric figure, x bar of third geometric figure. Similarly, AY, sigma AY is area of first geometric figure, y bar of first geometric figure. Area of second geometric figure, y bar of second geometric figure. Area of third geometric, y bar of third geometric. Okay. And finally, sigma A is summation of all the areas. Now this A1, A2, A3, they are nothing but they are the divided portion of the section given to you. So we are supposed to divide the section into common geometrical figures and form this table. Now let us take a diagram wherein all those points will be clearly understood. So you can see in this diagram. So here, as you can see, you have a T section. Now, this T section is being formed by combining two rectangles. So you can see that this is reference y-axis. This is reference x-axis. So the first thing is, as soon as you see the diagram, you're supposed to divide the diagram into two geometric figures. You're supposed to divide the figure into two common geometrical figures. Now this T section can be divided into two rectangles. How? You draw a simple line here. So this becomes the first rectangle and this lower portion becomes the second rectangle. Now there are two diagrams now we are supposed to concentrate. Now in these two diagrams, first we need to locate the centroid of each diagram here. Now with respect to this first rectangle, the centroid lies somewhere here at this point. That is a small point here. Okay. Now, for this rectangle, the centroid lies somewhere at this point. So these are individual centroids of 1 and 2 rectangle. Individual centroid they are. Now, let us concentrate on the first rectangle here. Now, what is the area of first rectangle? The area of first rectangle is 120 into 10. So it is rectangle 1 whose area is 120 into 10. Which is 1200. Next, x bar of first triangle. Now we know that x bar of first triangle is to be measured from reference y-axis. So distance of this centroid from y-axis, it is b by 2. That is, it is 120 divided by 2. If you have refer the chart which you have, you can clearly see that. It is 120 divided by 2. That is 60. So this 60 is the distance from y-axis to the centroid. That is 120 by 2. Now next I want y bar. Now I know that y bar I am going to measure it from x-axis. So what is the distance of this centroid from x-axis? So the distance of this centroid from x-axis is 60. Will get me to the face. And from the face to the centroid, it will be 10 by 2. That is d by 2. So it is 60 plus 10 by 2, which gives me 65. So your y bar, which is measured from x-axis, is the distance between this reference x-axis and the centroid. Which is nothing but it is 20, which will get me to the base of this first rectangle. The distance from base of the rectangle to the centroid is d by 2, that is 10 by 2, which is 65. So next I have ax. So it is a into x. So 1200 into 60 is 72,000. And in this ay, it is 1200 into 65, which is 78,000, which is 78,000. Okay. Now let us come to the second rectangle. Now let us come to the second rectangle. Now for the second rectangle also, I'm going to write the area, its x bar and its y bar. So for the second diagram, as you can see, this is the second rectangle. Now let us write the area for second rectangle. Area of second rectangle is 10 into 60. 10 into 60. So area of second rectangle, because I've divided the given figure into two rectangles, rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. So rectangle 2 is 10 into 60. 10 into 60, which gives me the area, that is 600. Next, I want x bar. X bar is to be measured from y-axis. I want the distance of the centroid of second rectangle from y-axis, which is b by 2, that is 120 divided by 2. 120 divided by 2. That is why I have written it as 120 divided by 2. That is the distance between the centroid of second diagram and the reference y-axis. Now next I want y bar. Y bar of second rectangle. Y bar of second rectangle, which is to be measured from reference x-axis. So this reference x-axis, the distance of the centroid of second rectangle from x-axis is nothing but it is 60 divided by 2. 60 divided by 2. So it is 60 divided by 2, which is equal to 30. Which is equal to 30. Thereby you will calculate ax, that is area into x bar, that is 600 into 60, which is 36,000. Next you have area into y bar, that is 600 into 30, which will give you ay. So the final x bar and y bar, how it is to be calculated? Your final x bar is ax divided by ay divided by sigma a. So x bar is 108,000 divided by 1800, that is ax divided by sigma a, and y bar is ay, that is sigma ay, 96,000 divided by 1800. So if you calculate, you will be getting the centroidal distance for this T section. So this is the problem on T section. Moving on to the next problem. You have a I section here. Now in this I section, you have a combination of three rectangles. So you will divide this given section into three rectangles. So the first one, the second one, and the third one. Now as soon as you divide this into 1, 2, and 3, the first work is locate individual centroid for all those three figures. So the first centroid lies somewhere at this point. The second centroid lies somewhere at this point. The third diagram centroid also lies somewhere at this point. Now In this diagram, if you have a close look, have a close look, see whether there is any axis of symmetry in the diagram. Axis of symmetry in the diagram. Axis of symmetry means what? If at all you fold the given section along that axis, then the corners should coincide. The corners should coincide. So if you happen to see that if you fold the section along this axis, if you fold the section along this axis, what happens? Exactly the corners coincides. Exactly the corner coincide. So this axis becomes the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. Now this is axis which is parallel to y-axis. So you can directly calculate the x bar for total figure. I repeat, since you have axis of symmetry parallel to reference y-axis, therefore x bar of total figure can be calculated directly. It is nothing but it will be the distance between the reference y-axis and the axis of symmetry. And the distance between reference y-axis and axis of symmetry is nothing but it is half of 80, which is shown here. So if you can see, x bar is directly calculated as 80 by 2. You can do the same in this diagram also. If you see, this axis is axis of symmetry, because if I fold the section along this y axis, it will exactly fold such that the corners will coincide with each other. Now since this axis of symmetry is parallel to y axis, you can directly calculate x bar. You have two options: either directly calculate it, or you can go with the normal method also. Both ways you are going to get the same answer. So x bar here will be 120 divided by 2, that is 60, and you calculate this, that is 108,000 divided by 1800, you will get 60 only. So coming back to this problem, since we have identified the axis of symmetry, which is parallel to reference y-axis, and the distance between the reference axis and the parallel symmetrical axis is 80 by 2, we happen to calculate x bar as directly 80 by 2, which is 40 mm. Now we are interested in calculating y bar now. So for y bar, we are supposed to consider reference x-axis. We are going to consider reference x-axis for calculation. So since we have divided the given section into three geometrical figures, let us write the area of all the three rectangles. So the first one, so this is the first rectangle. It is 80 into 10, which is written as 10 into 80 or 80 into 10, which is 800. Next is, I want y bar for this. What is y bar distance? Y bar distance is distance of the centroid of first rectangle from reference x-axis. So distance from this x-axis to this centroidal point. How much it is? 24 plus 40 will get me to the base of the first rectangle. Next, from base to the centroid, it is 10 by 2. So thereby, I have written it as 24 plus 40 plus 10 by 2, which will give 69. Now the next, rectangle 2. Now, for rectangle 2, the area is thickness is 10, height is 40. So it is 10 into 40, which is 400. Next, I want y bar. Y bar is what? distance of centroid of second rectangle from reference x-axis. So from this axis, the distance of centroid of second diagram, distance of centroid of second diagram, it is 24, which will get me to the base of the second rectangle, plus half of 40, half of 40. So it is 24 plus 40 divided by 2, which is nothing but 44. 44. Next, third rectangle. So this third rectangle, width is 25, height is 24. So it is 25 into 24. 25 into 24, which is 600. Next, y bar of third rectangle. Y bar of third rectangle is nothing but it is the distance between the centroid of the third rectangle and reference x-axis which is 24 divided by 2. 24 divided by 2, which is 12. So finally, what I'll do, I will calculate AY. Next, what is AY? It is nothing but A into Y. So you are going to multiply area of first rectangle with first Y1. So it is A1, Y1, A2, Y2, A3, Y3. And finally, you're going to sum up all the areas, which will give you sigma A. You'll sum up all the AY, which will give you sigma AY. So next, you have already calculated X bar. You're going to calculate Y bar, which is sigma AY divided by sigma A, which is 80,000 divided by 1800, which is 44.44. So Y bar is 44.44. Now you are supposed to, what will you do now? This Y bar and X bar is to be shown in the diagram. So this X bar is 40 and Y bar is 44.44. So the point where these two axes meet, that is nothing but the centroidal point. Of the given section. So this is how you calculate the centroid of any given section. So we shall take, you have one more eye section here. Very simple, similar to the previous one. Only thing is the dimensions are bit changed. So again, you see that this eye section is being formed with a combination of three rectangles. If you happen to divide those, so the first rectangle, the second one, and this will be the third one. So the first and foremost thing is divide the given section into common geometrical figures. Once you divide it into common geometrical figures, the next thing is you're going to locate the individual centroid for each of those geometric figures. So first one, the second one, and the third one. So these 3 points indicates individual centroids. The next thing, see if there is any axis of symmetry available in the diagram. So if we happen to see, there is an axis of symmetry, and this is that axis of symmetry. If I fold the section along this axis, all the corners will coincide. So since this axis of symmetry is parallel to reference y-axis, I can directly calculate X bar. And what is X bar? It is 150 mm divided by 2. Do not make a mistake of writing it as 100 by 2. Just because in the previous problem it was taken as 80 by 2 here. I had taken this as 80 by 2 only because this rectangle was touching the face of reference y-axis. Here, this is not touching the face of y-axis. Rather, this rectangle face is touching to the y-axis. Thereby, it is 150 divided by 2. So, you have x bar, which is 150 divided by 2, that is 75 mm. That is 75 mm. Now, let us calculate the y bar now. Let us calculate the y bar. Y bar is individual rectangle, individual y bar. So, what is the area of first rectangle? Area of first rectangle is 100 into 20. 100 into 20 is the area. Next, individual y bar. Individual y bar or y1, what we can call. What is y1? Y1 is nothing but it is the distance between the reference x-axis, and individual centroid So this is the individual centroid. The distance between this centroid and the reference axis. It is 20 plus 100 will get me to the base of the first rectangle. And from the base, the distance of centroid is 20 divided by 2. That is nothing but 10. So it is 20 plus 100 plus 20 divided by 2, which will give me 130. Next, coming to the second rectangle. So this is the second rectangle with an area. The thickness is 20 mm. Height is 100 mm. So you have 20 into 100 or 100 into 20, which is the area of second rectangle. Next, y bar. So y bar of second rectangle is the distance between the centroid of second rectangle from reference x-axis. It is nothing but it is 20, which will get me to the base of the second rectangle, plus 100 divided by 2. So 20 plus 100 divided by 2 is nothing but 70. Similarly, I'll come down to the third rectangle now. In the third rectangle, the area is 150 into 20. And y bar in this case is distance between the centroid and the reference axis, which is half of the depth, that is 20 mm, which is 20 divided by 2, that is 10. So once I get A1 and Y1, I will calculate A1 Y1, A2 Y2, A3 Y3. Finally, I'll be adding all the areas to get sigma A. I'll be adding all A1 Y1 plus A2 Y2 plus A3 Y3 to get sigma AY. And finally, I will calculate Y bar, which is sigma AY divided by sigma A, which is 61.429 mm. So finally, after calculating, I will draw the axis, which is X bar and Y bar. So in this section, if we see Y bar 61.429 means this line is at a distance of 61.429 from x-axis. So y bar always measured from x-axis. Similarly, x bar, that is this line, is at a distance of 75 mm from x-axis. So these two lines actually meet at a common point. Then that common point is nothing but it is the centroid of the I section. So you have calculated the centroid of T section as well as for I section in today's class.